Imagine waking up every morning excited, not because it's easy, but because you're chasing something massive, something breathtaking, something that sets your soul on fire. Most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim too low and hit. Today we're diving into a mindset shift that separates the truly successful from the merely average. Get ready, because once you learn to dream big dreams, nothing will ever be the same again. Step 1, clarity is power. Clarity is the starting point of all success. When you are absolutely clear about who you are, what you want, and where you are going, everything else falls into place. Without clarity, you are like a ship at sea without a rudder, drifting aimlessly, subject to the winds and currents of life. With clarity, you set a course and steer steadily toward your chosen destination, regardless of the obstacles and challenges along the way. When you know exactly what you want, you activate a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, or RAS. This is the mechanism that sifts through the millions of pieces of information bombarding you every second and brings to your attention only what matters most. The moment you become clear about a goal, your mind starts drawing your attention to the people, opportunities, resources, and ideas that can help you achieve it. Without clarity, even the best opportunities will pass right in front of you without you ever recognizing them. Clarity sharpens your focus and enhances your decision-making. It eliminates distractions and reduces confusion. Instead of reacting to whatever happens, you become proactive, deliberate, and purposeful in your actions. You save time, energy, and resources because you are no longer chasing after things that don't align with your true goals and vision. Every step you take, every decision you make, is measured against the standard of whether it moves you closer to or further away from your desired outcome. Most people never achieve their dreams because they never take the time to define them. They have a general wish for a better life or more success, but they cannot articulate exactly what that looks like. Vague goals lead to vague efforts and ultimately vague results. In contrast, when you have crystal clear clarity about what you want, you generate the motivation, resilience, and energy needed to overcome setbacks and keep moving forward. Clarity transforms hope into certainty and ambition into achievement. Clarity also boosts your confidence. When you know what you're aiming for, you feel more in control. You are not easily swayed by criticism, setbacks, or the opinions of others because you have a clear internal compass guiding you. You trust yourself more deeply because your actions are aligned with your true purpose. You no longer waste time second-guessing yourself or hesitating in fear of making the wrong move. You act with decisiveness and authority because you know exactly what you are working toward. Developing clarity requires self-honesty and reflection. It means asking yourself powerful questions. What do I truly want? What does success look like for me? What am I willing to commit to? These questions are not always easy to answer, but the process of answering them forces you to dig deeper into your desires, values, and priorities. The clearer you become about what matters most to you, the stronger and more unstoppable you will become in its pursuit. Clarity is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong practice. As you grow and evolve, your dreams and goals will also evolve. That's why it's essential to regularly revisit your vision, re-examine your goals, and refine your plans. The more clarity you have at every stage, the faster and more confidently you will move toward the life you envision. Step 2, visualize your future. Visualization is one of the most powerful mental tools you can use to achieve your goals and build the future you desire. It involves creating clear, detailed images in your mind of the life you want to live, the success you want to experience, and the person you want to become. When you visualize your future consistently and vividly, you tap into the creative forces of your mind in a way that transforms your dreams from abstract ideas into concrete realities. Your mind operates largely in images and pictures. Long before something happens in the physical world, it first takes shape in your imagination. Every great invention, every significant achievement, every towering success began as a mental picture in someone's mind. Visualization harnesses this natural creative process and uses it deliberately. When you imagine yourself already living the life you want, your mind begins to work on closing the gap between your current reality and your envisioned future. The practice of visualization works because your subconscious mind does not distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. When you imagine achieving your goals with strong sensory detail, seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, your brain responds as if it were happening in real life. This strengthens neural pathways associated with success and primes your body and mind to act in ways that support that reality. Over time, this repeated visualization creates a blueprint in your subconscious, a roadmap your mind follows to turn your vision into experience. When you visualize your future, it's important to be specific. Vague images create vague outcomes. The more detailed you can make your mental picture, the clearer you can be about where you are, what you're doing, who you're with, and how you feel, the more powerful the effect will be. Engage all your senses. Hear the sounds of the environment, feel the textures, smell the air, and experience the emotions of accomplishment and fulfillment as if they were happening right now. The deeper and more emotional your visualization, the stronger the impact on your mind and behavior. Visualization also plays a critical role in building belief. Often the biggest obstacle to achieving big dreams is the nagging doubt about whether they are even possible. When you visualize your success over and over again, you begin to accept it as inevitable. It becomes something you feel destined for rather than something you merely hope for. This growing belief changes how you think, how you act, and how you respond to challenges. Instead of hesitating or doubting yourself, you act with more confidence and resilience because in your mind, you have already succeeded. Moreover, visualization serves as a constant reminder of your goals and keeps them at the forefront of your consciousness. In the busyness of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Visualization brings your focus back to your higher vision. It strengthens your commitment and keeps you aligned with your true desires. It reminds you why you are working hard, why you are pushing through obstacles, and why you refuse to settle for less than your full potential. Practicing visualization does not require hours of your time. Even a few minutes each day spent vividly imagining your future can have a profound effect. Early in the morning before the rush of the day begins, or late at night before sleep, your mind is especially receptive. These are the perfect times to sit quietly, close your eyes, and step into the life you are creating. Make it a daily ritual, a non-negotiable part of your routine. Just like brushing your teeth or exercising your body, you are exercising your future through the power of your mind. Visualization energizes and inspires you. It renews your sense of purpose and reignites your passion when you feel tired or discouraged. It lifts your thinking above your current circumstances and reminds you of the greater possibilities that lie ahead. Every time you visualize your future, you are planting seeds of success in the fertile ground of your mind. Seeds that, with persistence and action, will eventually grow into a rich and abundant reality. Step 3, believe it's possible. Belief is the foundation upon which all achievement is built. When you truly believe that something is possible for you, your mind unlocks hidden reserves of creativity, energy, and resilience that would otherwise remain dormant. Belief acts as the catalyst that turns dreams into goals and goals into realities. Without belief, even the most brilliant plans and ideas are powerless. They fade away at the first sign of difficulty. But when you believe with conviction that your dream is attainable, you approach every challenge differently. You persevere when others give up. You find solutions when others see only obstacles. You move forward with a sense of inevitability, fueled by an inner certainty that success is simply a matter of time and effort. The size of your dreams is directly proportional to the strength of your belief. People who achieve extraordinary success are not necessarily more talented or more intelligent than others. They simply believe at a deeper level that what they seek is within their reach. This belief influences every decision they make, every action they take, and every thought they entertain. It acts as an internal compass, guiding them steadily toward their desired outcomes. When you believe it's possible, your mind begins to filter your experiences differently. You notice opportunities that align with your goals. You attract people and circumstances that support your journey. You become a magnet for the very things you once thought were out of your reach. Belief shapes your identity. When you believe that you are capable, worthy, and destined for success, you begin to think, feel, and act in accordance with that identity. This alignment between your self-image and your aspirations creates a powerful momentum that propels you forward. Conversely, when you harbor doubts and fears, you unconsciously sabotage your own effort. You hesitate, you procrastinate, and you settle for less than you deserve. The beliefs you hold about yourself form the ceiling of your potential. Raise your beliefs and you raise your results. Building belief often starts with small victories. Every time you set a goal and achieve it, no matter how minor, you reinforce the idea that you are capable. These small successes compound over time, gradually strengthening your belief muscle. It is a process of conditioning your mind to expect success, just as an athlete conditions their body for peak performance. Repeated positive experiences create a deep-seated belief that you can handle whatever challenges come your way, and that bigger dreams are not just fantasies, but attainable realities. Belief is also heavily influenced by the environment you choose to place yourself in. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive, and ambitious people can dramatically elevate your own level of belief. When you are around individuals who have achieved great things, who speak of possibilities instead of limitations, who encourage rather than criticize, you begin to see higher levels of success as normal and achievable. On the other hand, if you constantly expose yourself to negativity, cynicism, and small-minded thinking, your belief in what's possible can be slowly eroded. Protect your environment as fiercely as you protect your dreams. Another powerful tool for strengthening belief is the use of affirmations and self-talk. What you repeatedly say to yourself and about your future deeply impacts what you believe. If you constantly reinforce positive, empowering messages, you gradually overrate the negative programming that might have held you back in the past. Speaking to yourself in terms of possibilities, potential, and certainty rewires your subconscious mind and creates a new baseline of belief that supports your dreams rather than sabotages them. Sometimes belief must be created even before there is evidence. You must believe in the absence of proof. You must trust in your potential when results have not yet manifested. This is one of the true marks of greatness, the ability to hold on to your vision and maintain belief even when circumstances seem to contradict it. Every great achievement was once deemed impossible by someone. Every major breakthrough was once just a wild idea in someone's mind. The willingness to believe in yourself and your dream before the world gives you permission is what separates those who succeed from those who merely wish they had. Step 4, take full responsibility. Taking full responsibility for your life is one of the most liberating and empowering decisions you will ever make. It means accepting without excuses or blame that you are the architect of your own destiny. Everything you are today, everything you've accomplished, and everything you will achieve in the future is the direct result of the choices you have made and the actions you have taken. It is tempting to point fingers at external circumstances. the economy, your upbringing, your boss, your family, bad luck. But the moment you do, you surrender control over your own life. When you accept total responsibility, you reclaim your personal power. You recognize that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond, what you learn, and what you do next. Taking full responsibility requires an extraordinary level of honesty with yourself. It demands that you stop making excuses, stop complaining, and stop waiting for someone else to solve your problems. Excuses are seductive because they relieve you of the pressure to change. Complaints feel satisfying because they make you the victim instead of the agent. But both excuses and complaints rob you of progress. Responsibility puts you firmly in the driver's seat of your life. It compels you to ask better questions. What can I do to improve this situation? How can I learn from this setback? What's the next step I can take right now? When you embrace full responsibility, you become solution-focused instead of problem-focused. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, you look for what can be done. Instead of blaming others for your frustrations, you ask yourself what role you played in creating the situation and what role you can play in changing it. This shift in mindset transforms your entire experience of life. Problems become challenges to overcome rather than obstacles to complain about. Failures become lessons that guide your growth rather than sources of bitterness or regret. Another critical aspect of taking full responsibility is understanding that your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors are all within your sphere of control. You may not always control what thoughts enter your mind, but you can choose which ones to entertain and act upon. You may not control every emotion that arises, but you can control your reaction to those emotions. You have the ability to cultivate empowering habits, develop new skills, and discipline your mind toward greater focus and resilience. Responsibility means recognizing that no one else can think for you, feel for you, or act for you. It is entirely your job to manage yourself. Taking responsibility also means accepting that results are what matter most. Intentions, hopes, and plans are important, but they are not substitutes for action and outcome. You are measured by what you achieve, not by what you intended to achieve. This might seem harsh, but it is actually a gift because it provides a clear feedback system. If the results you are getting are not what you want, you have the power to change your strategy, sharpen your skills, adjust your efforts, and try again. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are in control of your course corrections. True personal responsibility extends to every area of life. Your health, your relationships, your finances, your career, your emotional well-being. It is easy to take responsibility when things are going well, but the real test comes when things fall apart. It is in those moments of disappointment, failure, or hardship that the commitment to responsibility becomes most important. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of lamenting what you cannot change, you focus on what you can influence. Embracing full responsibility creates a sense of deep personal pride and integrity. It means you are someone who can be counted on, someone who does not make excuses, someone who follows through regardless of the circumstances. You build a reputation with yourself first and with others second. This internal sense of honor becomes a source of strength that carries you through the inevitable difficulties of life. When you live with responsibility, you no longer see yourself as a passive recipient of whatever life throws at you. You see yourself as a creator, a builder, an active participant in shaping your destiny. Step 5. Set goals with deadlines. Setting goals with deadlines is a powerful practice that transforms dreams and vague wishes into clear, actionable plans. A goal without a deadline is merely a hope, a distant idea that floats in the background of your mind without ever compelling real action. Deadlines create urgency. They act as a force that pushes you out of procrastination and into purposeful motion. When you assign a timeline to your goal, you give it structure. You signal to yourself that it is not just something you would like to achieve someday, but something you are committed to accomplishing within a specific time frame. The human mind naturally works better with clear parameters. Without a deadline, there is no pressure to begin, no incentive to push through obstacles, and no accountability to measure progress. Time stretches endlessly, and important tasks are easily postponed in favor of immediate comforts or distraction. But when a deadline is in place, a shift occurs. Your mind organizes your actions differently. You start to prioritize, to schedule, to break big tasks into smaller steps that can be completed steadily. You create momentum because now there is a finish line in sight, and every action you take is measured against the ticking clock that moves you closer to that line. Deadlines sharpen your focus. When you know you have limited time, you become more selective about how you spend your energy and attention. You cut out unnecessary activities and zero in on what matters most. You move from being busy to being productive. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or ideal conditions, and instead you get to work with what you have, knowing that action beats endless planning. Deadlines help you develop discipline because they force you to confront the resistance that always accompanies big goals. They require you to show up consistently, even on days when motivation is low or when obstacles arise. Setting deadlines also transforms overwhelming dreams into manageable milestones. A large goal can seem intimidating when viewed as a whole, but when it is broken down into smaller tasks with individual deadlines, it becomes achievable. Each small win builds confidence and momentum. You see visible progress, which reinforces your belief that the ultimate goal is within reach. Deadlines break the journey into digestible pieces, making the process less daunting and more motivating. Another powerful aspect of deadlines is that they create accountability. When you set a deadline for yourself, especially when you make it public or share it with others, you increase your commitment to follow through. You create external pressure to match your internal desire. Knowing that others are aware of your timeline can inspire you to push harder, stay focused, and avoid the temptation to quit when challenges arise. Accountability combined with deadlines forms a powerful structure that greatly increases the likelihood of success. It is important that deadlines be both realistic and challenging. If they are too easy, they do not stretch you. If they are impossible, they create frustration and discouragement. The key is to set a deadline that requires you to grow, to act decisively, and to stay focused, but one that is still attainable with consistent effort and discipline. This balance ensures that the deadline acts as a motivator rather than a source of overwhelming pressure. Deadlines also provide valuable feedback. If you miss a deadline, it is not a reason to give up, but rather a signal to reassess your strategies, your effort, or your planning. They allow you to measure your progress objectively and make adjustments where necessary. Without deadlines, it is easy to drift, to lose sight of your objectives, and to rationalize delays. But with deadlines, you have clear markers along the path, points of reflection where you can evaluate what is working and what needs to change. Setting goals with deadlines turns you into a person of action rather than a person of intention. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It trains your mind to think in terms of possibilities and responsibilities rather than wishes and excuses. When you master the habit of attaching clear, specific deadlines to your goals, you create a sense of purpose and momentum that propels you forward with greater clarity, energy, and determination. Step 6, take action every day. Taking action every day is the discipline that transforms ideas into reality. No matter how clear your goals are, no matter how strong your belief is, and no matter how vivid your vision may be, nothing happens until you act. Action is the bridge between thought and accomplishment. It is the force that brings your dreams out of the realm of imagination and into the physical world. Each small step you take moves you closer to your goals, while hesitation, overthinking, and procrastination build invisible walls that separate you from the success you desire. Consistent action, even imperfect action, is infinitely more valuable than waiting for the perfect plan or the perfect time. Taking action every day keeps your goals alive in your mind. It maintains your focus and strengthens your commitment. Without daily action, even the most inspiring vision will eventually fade into the background of your busy life. But when you commit to doing something, no matter how small, every single day, you create momentum. Momentum is a powerful force that builds upon itself. One small action leads to another, and before you realize it, you are making steady progress. Daily action transforms the pursuit of your dream from an occasional event into a way of life. Consistency compounds over time. A single action may not seem significant in the moment, but when repeated day after day, it leads to extraordinary results. It's like drops of water carving through stone. Each drop seems insignificant, but over time, the stone is transformed. The same principle applies to your goals. Every email you send, every workout you complete, every book you read, every skill you practice is a small investment in your future. These small daily actions accumulate, creating a powerful, unstoppable force that pushes you toward your ultimate vision. Taking action every day also builds confidence. Confidence does not come from wishing, hoping, or planning alone. It comes from doing. Each time you take action, even if the results are not perfect, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You build a track record of effort and progress that strengthens your self-image. You move from being someone who dreams to being someone who does. This shift in identity fuels even greater levels of action, creating a positive upward spiral of belief and achievement. Daily action also teaches resilience. Not every action you take will yield immediate results. There will be days when progress feels invisible, when setbacks occur, and when doubt creeps in. But by committing to action every day, you train yourself to keep moving forward regardless of temporary results. You develop the grit to persist when things get tough. You learn that success is not about avoiding failure, but about outlasting it. Every day you take action, you are building the mental toughness necessary to weather the inevitable storms on the journey to your goals. Taking action every day requires discipline and planning. It means setting clear priorities, breaking big goals into manageable tasks, and scheduling time each day to work on what matters most. It means saying no to distractions, avoiding the temptation to put things off, and treating your dreams with the seriousness they deserve. It requires an understanding that time is your most valuable resource and that every day wasted is a day you cannot get back. The daily actions do not always have to be massive. Sometimes the most important action you can take is a small step forward, making a phone call, reading a chapter, writing a page, practicing a skill. The key is movement. Action begets action. When you move, you create energy. When you sit still, inertia takes over. Even the smallest step can break the paralysis of procrastination and set a new chain of events into motion. Taking action every day also nurtures a sense of purpose and fulfillment. When you know that you are working daily towards something meaningful, you live with greater enthusiasm and a deeper sense of satisfaction. You are not merely passing time. You are building something important. Your days take on a sense of direction and significance because each one is a building block toward your greater vision. When you make daily action a non-negotiable part of your life, you no longer rely on motivation alone. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes. But habit, discipline, and commitment endure. You act not because you always feel like it, but because you have decided that your dreams are worth it. This shift in mindset separates those who achieve extraordinary success from those who merely wish they had. The journey to achieving your biggest dreams begins with a simple but powerful decision. The decision to take full ownership of your life and future. When you dream big dreams, when you create absolute clarity about what you want, when you visualize your future vividly, believe deeply in your possibilities, take full responsibility for every step, set clear goals with firm deadlines, and commit to taking consistent action, every single day you set yourself apart from the vast majority of people who merely wish, hope, and wait. Your dreams are not handed to you by luck or chance. They are earned through vision, belief, discipline, and relentless effort. The power to create the life you desire is already within you, waiting to be unleashed through your daily choices and actions.